Alright, hello everyone. Man, they did Valentino Angel dirty. So, I really don't want to make videos and post them on Facebook unless start finding meteorites anymore. It takes too much time. And I'm reading a lot of books right now and I'm watching some videos I gotta watch. I'm learning stuff from. I just want some time to myself. But check this out, people. Bam! Hit a deer. Messed up that. It might have been bent the estimator place. I got to drop this car off and they're going to keep it for a while. They said maybe this is bent in, but I don't know. This is broke. Headlights busted. This busted. This got pushed back, so the door is bent a little bit. The door creaks a little bit, but the hood seems like it's right. But man, and it don't look too bad from it. When you're up close, it looks worse. On this video, I mean, it don't look too bad. Too bad it wasn't just, oh man, but there's some of the fur from the deer. But what happened, I'm heading out from camp to go meteorite hunting. And I pull off the forest road. I'm going up the 180 highway that goes towards the Grand Canyon. I wasn't going that far down. I was only going maybe, I don't know, 5 miles or something. Maybe 10 miles. I'm not sure. And as I turn off on this forest road, I see out of the corner of my eye, this way, I'm going this way. See this way, I see this deer bolting it. You know how these deers are, they like to, and elk, they like to, instead of going behind you, or just stopping and letting you go and then go, they like to try to get right in front of you, so you either hit them, or you barely miss them, or, you know, that's what I usually see. You barely miss them or you hit them. It's not too big of a miss at all, man. It's just from what I've seen. But so is Bolton. I'm only doing the speed limit's 55, and I'm doing between 50, 55. I'm not exactly sure, but I see that thing Bolton, and this all happened, I don't know, within like 5 to 10 seconds. So I start hitting the brakes, and when I brake, I always brake softly at first, not too crazy because I don't want to lock up the brakes. But on this Subaru, I'm reading, and I don't. It's saying something to the box. The brakes don't lock up like that. It has some kind of safety thing on there, but I don't know, man. I don't. A lot of these new cars. This is the newest car I ever had. This is the first time I had a brand new car, and then and usually I got cars that are, I don't know, years old, not just a couple. These are like really old. But I never had one with all this stuff on it. I didn't want all this stuff on it, but that's what it came with. If I would knew about eyesight and stuff, I don't know if I would have got it. But I probably would have, just for now. These cars. But anyways, I see this thing bolting, and it's like when I start seeing it, it's not like right next to the freeway. It's a little, I don't know how, 20 feet or maybe 30 feet from the road, but it's hauling ass. And so I start braking, and then I hit it. I'd say I don't even know where I hit it because I was just tripping out trying to stop this car, but not. I didn't know if anybody was behind me. That's why I didn't want to slam on the brakes, either. All crazy. And me personally, though, I never locked the brakes up ever. I always was able to stop, or I might, barely bump something. But this is the worst accident I got in just now. But I might have hit it, I don't know, 20, 30 miles an hour. But Man, if I would have hit it at 55, my car could have been totaled. If these cars get too damaged, they'll just total them out and fix them, like rebend the frame. Or I would have had some serious front damage. It hit on the left corner, so the airbag didn't go off, and I had my seatbelt on. And good thing I got after I got off the forest road and got on the Highway 180. I forgot to put on my seatbelt, and good thing before this happened. Good thing I remembered. I remembered to put it on after like a mile or two, and I was like, oh. And I shut off the eyesight. This thing has eyesight on it that it'll stop the car for you, but sometimes it goes off without an emergency stop. You know, people said they'll be going down the road and boom, it'll slam on the brakes and there's nothing there. But mine's been pretty good. Only had it one time trip out when nothing was there. It didn't stop. It starts making this noise when it's getting ready to try to get your attention. But I don't trust it. I always try to shut it off. But I shut it off. And this I don't think would have mattered because I was already braking and it was coming from the side. It wasn't coming. The camera's like looking straight ahead. I don't know if it can look to the side. But bam, I hit it like, I don't know, 20 to 30. And man, I wish I could have slowed it down more. And so this thing goes flying across the highway. This is a two lane highway, one going northbound, one lane, one coming southbound. And it flew on the left side. I was going northbound, and that deer, I hit it over here, and it flew on the side of the highway from the southbound side, and it's laying right next to the highway. And I was able, and then I finally, I did a complete stop, and I had the road. I couldn't just pull over to the dirt right there because there's nowhere to pull over on this highway some places. But I don't know, about 15 feet, I'd say 15, 20 feet. I was able to pull off to the side there because I want to check my car and see if any fluids were leaking, see if I can keep driving. That's what you always want to do, as long as, if oil's not leaking and your radiator fluid's not leaking and your transmission's not leaking, your vehicle might still be drivable. Mine was. Even all these lights came on the dash and stuff saying not to drive it, but I mean, legally to their laws, I shouldn't be driving. But anyways, opened the hood, I checked it all out. I didn't see no fluids. And then I went and checked on the deer, and it was twitching. And it's like hoof was in the road just a little bit, not too bad. Most of it was just on the side in the dirt there, but a little bit of its hoof was like on that white line. And it was twitching. I was gonna get it out of the road. Good thing it was out of the road because these cars come flying down this highway. They'll pass you up if they can, man. They want to go like it's 55, but they don't want to go like 70, 65, maybe faster. Sometimes they'll be passing people up when there's no traffic on the other side and it's a safe place to pass. Sometimes it might not even be that much safe and they'll pass you. But anyways, I was gonna maybe move it off to the side a little more because someone drifted off, the highway a little bit. They might hit it, but it was twitching, so you don't want to mess with the animal, a deer or elk that's not fully dead, because they could kick you, man, and they can injure you real bad. I was maybe even gonna kill it too. I had my gun. I didn't want to see it suffer, but I'm watching it for like 5 minutes, and then it finally jumps up and bolts, finishes crossing the highway where it wanted to go in the first place. It's gone. Right? I think I knocked the wind out of it, but that thing was gone. So I didn't know. If it was just sit there suffering, I might just shoot the thing. If you hit a deer or elk, as far as I know, and you kill it, you can keep it. Man, if I would have had a truck, I would have took that thing back to camp. I don't think I would have been able to fit it in my Subaru. But man, you got to call. I think you got to call the Forest Service, and they got to come out and tag it or something. I don't think you could just throw it in your truck and take off. And just kind of. I don't know the rules on it, but man, I would have took that thing if I had a truck and I had room in the back and it was dead. But anyway, that thing, I don't know how bad it was injured, but its adrenaline's pumping, so it can, if its ribs are broken and stuff, it might be able to take off for a while. But the coyotes or bear or mountain lion get it later if it's too injured and dies somewhere if it can't just take off running from them. It's too. But that's what happened, and I was like, damn, man, I'm tripping out. My adrenaline's pumping, and my airbag didn't go off, so that's good, and I didn't get whiplash or nothing because I was able to slow it down enough, and then bam, when I hit it, yeah, I wasn't going that's real fast. But and I was like, damn, I was getting ready to do my meteorite hunt, and I was just I had to move once already because of fires, and then when I moved to this new spot, I was out at this one place for like I don't know 2 to 3 weeks, and then boom, the fire started. And they shut it down. That part of the forest, they shut the highway down next to that part of the forest. The highway from Fort Tuthill to Sedona, they shut the 89 down. Some there going through the switchbacks and everything. So I had to move, and I got out here. I was out here, I don't know, not too long, maybe a week to 2 weeks, and then boom, a fire starts happening. There was like 4 fires from Sedona to the Grand Canyon, and like all the way up in the forest there. And one just, I was out metal detecting too that day. I'm out metal detecting, and then I get this alert on my phone saying I was by this city called Parks by Flagstaff. Damn, something's itching on my arm, man. I don't know if something bit me, mosquito whatever. But this Parks came up on my phone, this emergency alert. Sometimes my phone will go off on these emergency alerts. And I'm like, Parks, I don't see no smoke because I was kind of by that area out in the forest, but not, not right there. But I would have saw the smoke. I'm like, it must be Parks, Colorado. I'm pretty sure, or Utah. I think there's a Parks in Utah. I don't know where else. There's a lot of fires in Utah and Colorado right now. And so, and then I see these cows running. And I'm like, what's going on, they're running for a reason. And then they get off out there. And then I'm going a little ways, and finally, after a little while, I start seeing the smoke from the fire. And I'm like, oh, damn, that thing is close. And I'm like, oh, man, I only got a couple more hours before my meteorite hunt's up that I want to do today. I'm like, should I? I'm like, how close is it? You don't want to mess around with. And the wind was blowing pretty good that day. These things can move fast. And I was like, I better get to my car. And so I got to my car, and then I really started seeing the smoke. I'm like, damn, I'm getting out of here. I'm trying to put my backpack up and stuff, and I'm like, I'm glad I got to my car. And then I'm taking off, and then you see the forest rangers coming and stuff, and you see people. And I just go to my camp, and I'm like, damn, man, I hope that's not close enough to my camp. There's a lot of Forest Service rangers gathering on the roads. I'm heading back to my camp, looking like they're gonna close off roads and stuff. Starts shutting roads down, and I get to my camp. I'm like, well, it's kind of close, not too close. And I saw there's this app you could see where the fire's at, where they're shutting down the forest, and they didn't shut down where I was at. So I was like, oh man, it was within like a mile from where I'm at. But some other people I saw had to move and stuff. And I'm like, praise God, I would have to move again. And then so, I don't know, a couple weeks. I only got about maybe, I don't know how many meteorites hunted, maybe 12 now after I found those 2 meteorites in a row. One day, and then when I went out the next day, I found it. And I only got to go like one more day. And then I was heading out for another day. They finally put that one fire out too. That was by the new place I moved. That other first fire is still burning. They almost got it. It's at like 30,000 acres now. And they got like 83% contained, that first big one. But the second one, it didn't get that big. And they're able to put it out. And So this was like my 12th time I get to go, and I hit this deer, and I'm like, ah, man, what should I do? Should I go do my meteorite hunt? Or should I go take care of this car stuff, call insurance? So I'm like, I decided just to go ahead and do my meteorite hunt and then take care of it tomorrow. Take the car down there. But I called them that day. I had service and that part of the service. And they told me, yeah, take the car in anytime I want. And I took it in today, the next day. And they said I got to drop it off. So now, and they said it might take 2 to 6 weeks and then sometimes longer. Depending, they can get all the parts, and then my insurance company might, argue with them what parts to use. She said, let's say use this part, and they might, they have to go back and forth, and depending, how bad the damage is. And so I'm gonna go drop my car off in a couple days, and I'm trying to stock my camp with water. I went and picked up all my other more water jugs. I'm gonna go pick up some more tomorrow. I'm gonna take my shower, finish stocking my water, get my food stocked up, and I'll be good for about 10 days. And I gotta get into town somehow. And I'm about 17 miles from Flagstaff to Highway 66, and where the Fry's is at. And there's no bus. I don't know if the city bus doesn't come out here that much. And one thing about Uber and Lyft, I don't have no address out here. But anyways, what's cool is I put a post up on. I had a couple friends out in Flagstaff, but I put a post up on a Flagstaff group thing, and I got a bunch of calls. And I got somebody that I could pay that'll drive me back and forth. So I'll go into town, get my food and rations, and take a shower, and then come back out. And so I got to do that till I get my car back. And then I really didn't want to go meteorite hunting right where I'm camped at, just in case something happened. And I can save these spots like right now. I brought a bicycle out, so I got some places I can walk around by my camp here and go meteorite hunting or ride my bike a little bit. But not, not a whole lot. I got a few meteorites. But so now, I'm getting demotivated, people. I'm getting attacked by all this evil. It's just draining my strength, curse me weakness. Usually I'm motivated and I'm very energized, and I'm just do what I gotta do that day and get it done. You need you be self motivated. Do these meteorite hunts, go out there for like 6 to 8 hours and swing that metal detector around. But that's what's happening, people. And this is July 14th. I hit it July 13th. And so I got about 3 more months. So I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm still gonna try. I'm kind of like saying, oh man, but it's summer. I can't go work. Well, I don't got my car now too. It's summer, so I can't really go. I want to go down to the Pilot Phoenix area when winter hits, but I can't go down there now. It's too hot. In Flagstaff, they don't pay minimum wage is good here if you're working at a labor halls, day labor place, but they don't. For electricians, they don't pay people. A lot of people get ripped off, and this city's expensive. They should get paid really good. But yeah, I'm gonna try to just endure through this, and man, I can't believe, things are gonna happen. In the past, I had to move camps before, and I didn't have a vehicle. I had to rent a U-Haul to go set up camp, and then fire broke out one time, and I had to move a camp like 2 days after I set it. And another time, the Forest Service came around. You're only supposed to get 2 weeks. Sometimes you can get away with like 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, but sometimes they're on you about that 2 weeks. And this guy, it depends on the ranger too. This guy was just on it. I had to move after about 3 weeks there, and same thing with the U-Haul. But now I got the vehicle and the trailer, But now, I found a spot they're not bothering me. The people out here, people's been camped out here a while. And some parts of the forest, they just don't bother you. And then different years, they might bother. There's some places that usually, they're on people for their 2 week limit. In other places, it depends on who's the ranger there. There's some places they don't bother people at all. But yeah, I don't know people, and I can't go all far. I might get my car back real quick. I might not. But man, I'm just like, I'm just gonna endure through it. Goes, and then I'm getting older. I can't. I used to go when I first started. I used to go 2 days, 1 day off. And as I got older, this is within like 5 years. I don't know, 4 years, 3 years. And there's a lot of times I didn't get to go. I only got to go for like a few months at a time. One time I was able to go for like 4 months or something. I didn't have an off-road vehicle. I couldn't get out far enough. But and then I was only able to go every other day. And then I could only go like once. I could only go once and then take 2 days off. And now I'm trying to do every other day. And then like I would take off. I would do 3 hunts a week, and then take every other day. Then take 2 days off 1 week to go get my rations and stuff, and then come back and relax and stuff. And then that was getting hard. And it's like I'm struggling to do 3 times a week. So I might only be able to do like 2 times a week. But I don't know, people. I'm still gonna see what happens. I found those 2 meteorites. I found four meteorites. All the times I've been hunting up here in Flagstaff. I don't know for sure. You gotta get them checked, but they're too small. They're not even worth getting checked unless I happen to get a big enough one and be around somebody personally that can check them and just bring them along. But you gotta melt a little piece off. You cut a little piece and melt off, and there's some places like colleges and stuff that'll check them for you, but not all colleges do. So it's kind of it's kind of strange how you get them classified and they tell you how much it's worth. But these ones I got, they're not worth that. Maybe one is. Send a little piece off, find out what it is, but I'm not probably gonna get much for it. But yeah, people, I don't know, man. I'd like to find a big one and get some money, man, because this costs us some money to do this, and I need to get a truck too, man. I want a truck with one of those steel bumpers on the front, so if you hit something. But I've been driving these roads in in these forests. A lot of these roads around these forests between all the way from Sedona to the Grand Canyon, um, around Flagstaff and stuff for years. And I know 3 people personally. No, I know 4 people that hit an animal and wrecked their vehicle. 2 of the vehicles were totaled, and 3 times I think those were elk. All 3 elk. Good thing I didn't hit no elk. This deer was like a medium deer. It was small, but man, if it would have been an elk, oh man, I don't know how much more damage would have done. But and then the other guy hit a horse on the res. But I hear stories of people when they go to Mormon Lake. This guy that worked out there said how many stories he hears people go out there for a steak dinner and they hit an elk. So and here, since I've been camping on Highway 180 within the last month, I seen 2 dead animals next to the road that people hit. I forget if they're elk or deer. I didn't really check them out. I think one was an elk, one was a deer, and laying there dead. And sometimes I don't know how many more were hit because they'll move them away from the road, or animals will come get them. But and then one I hit, that's 3 within a month that I seen, maybe even like 3 weeks. So I mean that's pretty bad, people. I don't know how much damage they got to their vehicles, but I just went down to the collision place where I'm going down, talked to them, and they said, yeah, I was hoping I could keep the car. I said, no, we're gonna have to take it apart and see what's really going on, what you exactly need, and then Yeah, we'll try to get the other parts and fix it. They said, yeah, a lot of people coming in here hitting animals. So it's just messed up. And I pray all the time for protection in my car. And this time too, right before it happened, like I don't know, a few minutes, maybe like 5 minutes before it happened, I just said my sayings. One of these things I send to the Jesus to clear my paths, and so I won't get hit or nothing. And I still got nailed. But that happens sometimes. But if I didn't have all this protection of God upon my car and me, it might have happened a lot more. But it was bound to happen one of these times. The only other thing I ever hit was a dog in the city. It didn't do no damage to that car either. It was like a medium-sized dog, or maybe I don't know, maybe a little bit bigger. And maybe I hit it. I had a pretty sturdy car too, like a '77 Bonneville, I think. This thing, man, there's some plastic that just goes flying. But that's what's going on, people. And I don't know. I don't want to make no more videos, really. I wish I could make more videos. I'm gonna be on this bicycle. Check this out. I'm gonna be on this. There's my bike. I had e-bikes too, but I got rid of them because I had nowhere really to put them. But I'm gonna be on this bike with my metal detector on the back and my pick. And I had another bike just like this, not an e-bike, where I had a vehicle, a station wagon that I could only go like 10 miles, and then the transmission oil would get too heated up and start leaking because there's a messed up seal. So I would just park somewhere, camp, and then I'd ride this bike around. I'd walk off someplace and ride not this bike, another bike. Man, I got rid of my motorcycle. If I had my motorcycle, man, my 200, oh, that would have been nice right now. I kind of still want to ride that thing more, but I had nowhere to really put it. I had to get rid of it. I wish I had a 250 street bike, dirt bike, dual bike. Those cost some money, man. But with this Outback around these areas, I can get close enough where I can go hike and get some good places meteorite hunting. But now, I'm thinking about maybe renting a quad, but I really don't got. It is going to cost me $1,000 for my deductible, and I don't have rental car insurance. I could have, man, if I would just got rental car insurance, they would have rented me a car till that thing got fixed. That would have been nice. But I don't know how all this insurance stuff works. Because you only had full coverage one other time. All the other times I just had liability. My insurance used to be just like 30 something a month. Now it's 200 with full coverage. But yeah, people, I'm going to just do what I can do. And she said it usually takes 2 to 6 weeks. And she says sometimes it takes longer, depending on what parts they need. I don't know if you hear that, man. My stomach is tripping out. My stomach makes these weird freaking noises. But yeah, I can show. I don't know if I put this video yet. My new camp. This is my new. Hold on, I gotta tighten my belt here. This is my new camp, and I got my propane. So I got my burner, my Seagull burner on my 2000 Jacker, and I got my propane too. Man, that propane's nice. And these two camp chairs are nice, man. One's for like more relaxing. This one is for sitting more straight. There's my trailer. I built my trailer home. I'm gonna make a video about too. Also, I built that thing, and I just pitched that tent so I can put my water jugs in there. I built that thing to hold my propane, and this is my camp now. And this is raining season too. The rain's hitting. So I don't know how many days I'm still gonna go out there. I got me a rain suit I take, but I mean if it's pouring all day now, if it just rains for an hour or two, or like, hopefully a half hour, an hour here and there, scattered thunderstorms, or if it's not raining too bad, I'll still go out there and do it. But yeah, I just use this as a storage place. There's my trash containers. There's my other solar panel way over there. because I messed up on I had two different types of solar panels, and these thin ones I put on my trailer won't charge my Jackery consistently. I didn't know about all these different wattages and volts and stuff. It keeps cutting in and out when it's charging, but this one will charge it continuously, but this is a little bit heavier. And that thin one, I just had to put sticky stuff in the bottom and just stick it right on. And this one I'm gonna have to mount if I ever get to that. And I put these two windows in my trailer too, man. That was some work cutting. I put a window there, having to cut I put a window on my door. You can see right there. Or here, campsite. And this is my camp area, but no one's. There was some people by me, and they took off. They like come and go. That frisbee was here. I just marked it so I knew where. I got like 3 different places to turn into in my camp. But there's a water tank over there, and there's these cows hanging out here a lot. They don't bother my camp though. They just go eat the grass, and they like the water tank over there. Yeah, that's my camp, people. This whole week, rain off and on. The last couple of days, it rained some and off and on. Or I don't know, but not monsoons, man, can it'll pour sometimes, man. I've been out here camping where it's just flooding down that's why I'm up on a hill kind of area here, because the dirt roads will start flooding. Water will just start pouring down here, but I can't get flooded out here. I'm up on this little high rise here. Yeah, that's what's going on, people. I'm just gonna try to, man, if I can just find big enough meteorites. I don't know. I'm gonna still try some, and then I might have to, if it don't work out this time, I have to go back to work. If I find some good ones, I'm gonna give me a truck, and I'm gonna do this full time. I'm gonna take some time off too, and oh man, but that's what's going on, people. I'm out.